Well, I'm going to go ahead and introduce this next talk. I feel like 2020 plus being in information security and really any career space, I feel like this talk is highly actionable, something we all need to hear here. And Maria is an expert in this field. She does exceptionally well. Her and Ismail are a wonderfully powerful team. They're both good people. So I'm super excited to introduce Breaking the Destructive Cycle of Stress with Maria Garcia. She's going to talk through how we can try to, well, not be stressed out all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to you, Maria, and thank you so much for doing this for us.
Okay, so hi everybody, good afternoon. And first of all, I want to thank SANS for organizing this beautiful event. I think this is a great initiative. And also I want to thank to giving me the opportunity to be here and share a little bit of the things that I learned and I found helpful to myself. And I hope that you can learn a little bit of something today, and that also the tips that I'm gonna give you can be helpful for you too. So a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Spain. I know that I don't have any kind of accent when I speak in English. And I worked for years in the textile industry. I am a dressmaker and a feminine underwear pattern designer. And here I am today talking to you about stress. So you might be thinking, how in the world? Well, let me tell you a little bit about my story. When I was just 10 months old, I started with a very severe asthma affecting my health. And for a lot of years, my parents were trying to help me with the best treatments that they had available. And we tried every kind of different approach. Nothing worked for me. Until the day, I think I was about 18 years old, when this friend of mine, she approached me. She had been working in France for many years with a naturopathic doctor. And then she came and she tells me, you just need to change your diet. Honestly, I was very, very skeptical, but I thought, okay, listen, I have nothing to lose. I have tried so many different things. I'm gonna give it a try. To my surprise, that was the solution to my severe health problems. And I never again had another episode of asthma in my life. So as you can imagine, I was very surprised by this. I got very, very interested in natural therapies. And I felt very fortunate that I had the opportunity to meet this person that was able to share whatever she learned with me. And at the same time, I felt in depth with other people out there that are having the same kind of issues, but they didn't have the opportunity to hear about these other options. So this is what basically got me very interested in all this world of natural health. And finally, this led me to become a reflexology therapist and a holistic health coach. So today we're going to talk about stress and how can we break the cycle of destructive stress. First of all, what is stress? Well, stress is a very normal reaction from our body to any kind of a stimulus or change in life that is going to require any kind of adjustment. So this also can include exciting events, like, for instance, when you fall in love, or when you're going to get a new job, or you are getting a house, you're having a baby. But stress is also a survival mechanism that is designed to protect us when we are in danger. So when we have a stress response from a real emergency situation, like the bear that is chasing us, our stress response is healthy. But when we are having a stress response all the time, constantly, from everyday issues, this is what eventually is going to cause the burnout and other kind of health issues. And I like what the Cleveland Clinic says on their website about stress. They say that you can experience stress from your environment, your body, and your thoughts. And I thought that this is very important to understand because our thoughts create emotions, and emotions are energy. So in the same way as an electronic device needs power to run, you know that very well, right? You have your computer, you have your cell phone, and whether they operate with the battery charged or you have to have them plugged in. So in the same way, our body needs energy to work. But as you well know, we don't plug ourselves at night to charge our batteries. So where does our body get the energy from? Well, primarily from the food that we eat, but we can also get energy from other sources like the sun. Also, we can get the energy from the Earth's magnetic fields when we walk barefoot on the ground. And also, our emotions are energy. So depending on the kind of emotion that we are having, this is the kind of energy that we are going to have running in our body, operating our body. If we have positive emotions, this positive energy is going to help a lot our body to work properly. But when we have negative emotions, this blockages the energy that our body organs need in order to work. And then we can start having a lot of different symptoms. So it's very understandable that stress can be a source of negative emotions. So let's talk now about the impact of stress in our body. Before starting with this, I think it's very important to understand the role that the nervous system plays in stress. So basically, put it simple, the nervous system is the one that controls our stress response. More concretely, more specifically, is the autonomic nervous system. And the autonomic nervous system has two branches. One is the sympathetic nervous system, and the other one is the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is the one that is going to turn on the switch when we are under stress and will put us in this state of fight or flight. And on the other hand, the parasympathetic nervous system is the one that is going to turn off that switch and is going to help us to relax and relieve the stress. So what impact can stress have in our body? So today it can have so many impacts, but today we're gonna talk about three different things. We're gonna talk about our body shape and size, we're gonna talk about digestion, and we're gonna talk about sleep. So talking about body shape and size, let's think about a normal day at work. You wake up in the morning and the first thought that comes to your mind is the million things that you have to do today. So you start your day, your morning, drinking your coffee to get ready for everything that is ahead of you. But as you are working, you keep receiving more emails, more deadlines, more pressure coming in. And in order to keep up with all this demanding situation, you keep drinking more coffee, your Red Bulls, whatever you need. Does this sound familiar to you? Maybe it does. So how all of this can affect your body shape and size? So as we said before, the sympathetic nervous system is the one that lights up our fight or flight mode. So now, because this system is engaged, our cortisol levels go up. Our body fears that we are in danger. So we are in this state of fight or flight. So then your body thinks, okay, Well, I'm going to need to run very soon. I need to fuel this body so he or she can run. So now the body is going to check which is the fastest burning fuel available. As you know, our body uses two different kinds of fuel, glucose or fat. In this scenario, where your body needs the fastest burning fuel to keep you moving, which one do you think that the body is going to choose? Glucose or fat? Definitely, it's going to choose glucose. So your glucose raises up because you need to move. But you are not really running away from a bear. You are seated in front of your computer. You're not going to move. So you are not going to burn all that glucose that your body has available for you. And this also means that because the body is going to choose always the glucose, to burn the glucose, you are never going to burn fat. And this can have a great effect in accumulating fat, mostly around our belly. I heard this Dr. Libby Weber, she was explaining about this patient that came to her. It was very interesting because this lady, she was training for run the New York Marathon. So during 9 months, she was training, running between 40 and 90 miles per week, every week during a period of 9 months. And she was having the perfect diet. She brought to Dr. Weber all her food diaries so she could check if there was something wrong in her diet. And Dr. Weber, she says that her diet was perfect and she was training very hard. She was exercising a lot. Can you believe that this woman, in this 9-month period, she gained 27 pounds? Crazy, right? So now we understand why this can happen. She was under this high level of stress and her body wasn't burning any fat. Her body was just producing glucose to burn glucose. And of course, this also makes very understandable that this state is going to also affect our food choices. So when your body is in this high demand for glucose, it's very unlikely that you're going to receive this message from your brain telling you, hey, let's make a trip to the fridge and let's grab some cucumbers or some asparagus or some broccoli. No, you are going to crave sugary food and drinks. So now, let's talk a little bit about digestion. How can high stress affect our digestion? Again, because our body thinks that we are in danger, it diverts the blood supply to our arms and our legs, so we are ready to run as fast as you can. In this scenario, what happens is that the digestion is enormously compromised because the digestive system is not getting all the blood supply that it needs in order to break down your food in a way that can nourish you. So it's, for instance, if you bring, I am from Spain, as I said before, I bring a small appliance from Europe where they are designed to work with 120 volts, sorry. And you bring it here to United States and you plug it in the plug here. It's not gonna work properly because it's receiving just 110 volts, not 120. So this can illustrate what happens with our digestion because our digestive system is not getting all the blood supply that it needs it's not going to work properly. We are not going to digest our food in a way that can really feed our cells. So maybe at this point you are thinking, okay, Maria, I'm sorry, but you are stressing me out. You are not making me feel any better with all this information. So don't think about it through that perspective. I want you to learn about these things. I want to make you aware that this is very important thing that we should pay attention to. We have to do something in order to manage our stress. What usually happens is that because we are in this crazy, tight schedule every single day, we are procrastinating doing something about that. But it is important. We need to take a little bit of time to think about what are we going to do and to design a plan that works for us. And if, on the other hand, you are this kind of person that are already doing something, I hope this is an inspiration for you to keep working on it, because controlling your stress is not something that happens in one day. It's a long process. So how can we break the destructive cycle of stress? So before we go to any tool, I want to talk a little bit about bioindividuality, because for me, this is a key for success. You are unique. Your needs are unique. And whatever may work for me probably is not going to work for you. Whatever makes me happy, maybe it's not going to make you happy. A good example of that, our yearly family ski trip. In my house, you can see two very different reactions to this event. On one hand, there's my husband, my dear husband, and my lovely daughter. They get so excited when the time approaches to go on our ski trip. So they start making all the arrangements, they book the place that we are going to stay in, they check that all the equipment, the gear is ready to use, and they cannot wait for the day that they hit the slopes. On the other hand, there's me. From the very day that they have booked the place to stay in, I'm just looking forward to come back home. I don't enjoy that trip at all. I have to tell you, though, this year I stayed home, they went to ski, everybody was happy. What is the thing that I want to tell you with this? Please learn to listen to your body and the emotions that any given activity stirs in you. And please honor your bioindividuality and choose something that you really enjoy and that is going to make you happy. You will see that when you do your research, you will find many, many different tools that can help you to cope with the stress. But the fact that this particular tool is helping somebody doesn't mean that it's going to help you. You have to find something that really resonates with you and that you're going to feel comfortable doing it. If you're going to hate it, whatever you're going to do, you're going to be more stressed. So you're not going to achieve your goal. So tools to manage stress, as you can see, these are just a few, and probably they are not the most common that you're going to find. But I chose them because they are really easy to implement, don't require a lot of time or effort. And even though they are very simple tools, they can be very powerful. And as you can see, the first one that I chose is diaphragmatic breathing or deep breathing. Why? Well, if you remember, we explained before how the sympathetic nervous system is the one that turns on the switch for your fight or flight mode. And we said that the parasympathetic nervous system is the one that is going to turn it off. But how do I operate that switch? how do I just make it work in order to switch from this sympathetic state to the parasympathetic nervous system? Deep breathing. This is the most effective tool. Why? Because when we breathe deeply, the message that we are giving to our body is that we are in a safe zone. So then your body is gonna start releasing all that tense situation that keeps you alert to run away of the danger that is around you. And in this, regarding this deep breathing, the longer the exhalation, the longer, the more engaged our parasympathetic nervous system will be. Just take a second to focus on your breathing right now, and probably you will see that when we breathe, we move the upper chest, right? This is the area, I'm a little bit short, sorry here. This is the area that we move when we breathe. But have you ever noticed the way babies breathe? They don't move their chest when they breathe. They breathe with their belly. And this is what we want to do. It's very, very easy and very effective. So how can do diaphragmatic breathing? Here you have a little slide that can explain a little bit, but you just put your hands on top of one another on your belly so you can connect with that area in your body. And then when you inhale, your hands come out as the belly inflates. And with the exhalation, it should be long and slow. Your hands come back as the belly deflates. Some people find that the first times that they try, they cannot do it. Their hands don't move a lot, but keep practicing, because in a few days you will be able to do it. This is something that we practice at home. My son loves it. He loves breathing exercises, and you can do it at any time. It's very easy. You can even set an alarm in your cell phone, whatever time of day that is convenient for you, so you don't forget. But it's a very good practice. You can also you can also practice activities that are deep breathing focused, like Tai Chi, Qigong, Pilates, so many activities that are focusing this technique. Another tool that I love, practice gratitude. So as we said before, thoughts feed our emotions. And gratitude is going to shift our attention from negative emotions, from negative thoughts, to positive thoughts. So this is very easy. It is going to take you just a few minutes. So after a long day of stress, after having like all these negative emotions in you, if you just pause for a few minutes and you write down, okay, I'm going to focus right now on the good things, something good that happened today. I'm gonna write it down. This will shift your thoughts focus, and it's going to help you to feel much better. Some people prefer to pray because they have this practice, so whatever works for you, but focus your mind on positive things. Find the type of exercise that you enjoy. Remember, bio-individuality. So some people thrive with the sports that are like hardcore, and they do well on that. For some other people, if they don't enjoy that activity, it's going to cause a lot of stress, so they're not going to enjoy that. It's not going to work. And sometimes we want to go to the gym, and that's probably ideal situation, but do you really have time every time you want to go to do that? It's going to take you at least 1 hour. So if that day you cannot make it to the gym, dance, play some music at home. And if it's just for 10 minutes, dance. As somebody said, dancing is the best stress reliever. So in summary, I would say include in your diet more nutrient-dense food. This is very important. Love, love, love yourself. You're precious, so treat yourself accordingly. Take your time to explore what works for you. Don't compare yourself with others. You are unique and you have to act accordingly to that. And I recommend you also to be patient, because this is, as I said before, this is a long process. So be patient and kind with yourself. I hope you learned a little bit today, and thank you so much for having me and for listening to me. Thank you.
Oh, that is fantastic. I really appreciate it, and I think it's perfect timing for this kind of information. I can attest that when I eat right, I feel much better. I mean, on Discord, we've been talking about, coffee is life, and well, maybe we should cut back and alternate between water or tea, and a lot of folks are agreeing and resounding with what you're saying. So I really appreciate that talk, Maria. It's spot on.